Hi everyone, welcome back to Pass IELTS Plus. Today, we're tackling a common IELTS speaking topic, hearing a stranger talking loudly on the phone in public. It's one of those experiences we've all had, right? Stick around until the end because I've got some fantastic high-level answers for part 3 that will really impress the examiner. And if you're serious about boosting your score, make sure you subscribe for more top-tier IELTS speaking tips. Alright, let's dive into the part 2 cue card. Describe a time you heard a stranger talking loudly on the phone in public. Here's my model answer. I vividly remember an occasion about a year ago. I was on a train heading into London for a meeting, and this man sitting a few rows away from me started speaking incredibly loudly on his phone. It wasn't just a normal chat, he was having a very heated argument, and from what I could gather, it was with a colleague. The conversation, or rather, the monologue, went on for nearly half an hour. He was clearly furious about a business deal that had fallen through, and he kept shouting phrases like, "That's completely unacceptable," and "I refuse to take the blame for this mess." Honestly, everyone in the carriage could hear every single word. You could see people exchanging annoyed glances and rolling their eyes. For the first few minutes, it was a bit like live entertainment, but the novelty wore off very quickly, and it just became intensely irritating. I even saw a couple of passengers get up and move to another carriage just to get some peace and quiet. I tried to drown him out by putting on my headphones and turning up my music, but his voice was so powerful I could still hear it cutting through. That whole experience really reinforced for me how crucial basic etiquette is when we are reusing our phones in public. It's vital to be considerate of the people around you and keep your voice down. At the end of the day, we all have to share these public spaces, and a little bit of respect goes a long way in making everyone's journey more pleasant. Now, let's move on to some challenging Part 3 follow-up questions. First question. Why do you think some people talk so loudly on their phones in public? Well, I believe it often comes down to a lack of situational awareness. Many people get so absorbed in their conversations that they completely forget their surroundings. It's like they're in their own little bubble. In other cases, it might be a subconscious display of self-importance. Speaking loudly can make someone feel more assertive or in control, especially during a stressful or emotional call. Next, how can public spaces be designed to better manage noise? That's an excellent question. I think creating designated quiet zones on trains, in cafes, or even in airport lounges would be a brilliant solution. Using sound-absorbing materials in construction can also make a huge difference. On top of that, simple but clear signage reminding people to be mindful of their noise levels can be surprisingly effective. And finally, do you think there should be stricter rules about phone usage in public? I'm not sure about formal laws, as that could be difficult to enforce. However, I definitely think we should cultivate stronger social norms. Public awareness campaigns that promote polite phone etiquette could be very effective. Sometimes a gentle reminder from a staff member or a fellow passenger is all it takes to encourage more respectful behavior without needing rigid rules. And that's all for our IELTS speaking practice today. If you found these model answers helpful, please hit that subscribe button for Pass IELTS Plus. We're constantly sharing expert strategies and tips to help you ace your exam. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.